A is less than B, then 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared plus 12 squared is A squared plus B squared is satisfied by only one pair of positive integers. What is A plus B? We have 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared plus 12 squared is A squared plus B squared. Now these are Pythagorean triples. Pythagorean triples. So the most common one is this guy. 3 squared plus 4 squared is 5 squared. You guys know that. And this one, 5 squared plus 12 squared, is the same as 13 squared. So there you go. And even if you didn't know that, you can just manually calculate 3 squared and 4 squared, add them, and it'd be 25. And obviously 25 is 5 squared. And the same thing for this guy up here. So there you go. A squared plus B squared. So therefore, obviously, the A is less than B, right? So the A is the 5, not that it really matters, and B is the 13, so therefore A plus B would be 5 plus 13, which is 18. This coming Halloween, Tom plans to scare twice as many people as Sam, and Sam plans to scare 3 times as many people as Roz. In all, they plan to scare at most 2,005 people. If no one is scared more than once, at most, how many people does Sam plan to scare? So we have who is it? Tom, Sam, and Roz. Okay, so if we take the question and put it into math, it will be x, 3x, and 6x. And if you add these up, they're saying that at most it's 2005. So that basically means that 10x is less than or equal to 2005. Therefore, x is less than or equal to 200.5. And x is an integer, so therefore the maximum x can be is 200. And what are they saying? Sam. So Sam is 3x, so 3x would be 600. When two congruent equilateral triangles share a common center, their union can be a star, as shown. If their overlap is a regular hexagon with an area of 60, what is the area of one of the original equilateral triangles? Well, I think you can just make all of these into triangles, so like this, like that, and therefore you've got a whole bunch of triangles that are all the same, I believe, right? So the hexagon, which is sort of, I guess, that shape in the middle, that consists of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So six triangles, let's just say 6 triangles, is the hexagon. And they're saying the hexagon has an area of 60. So each triangle has an area of 10. And therefore the original what is the area of one of the original equilateral triangles? Are they talking about the biggest one, I believe? So the biggest one is like this guy. This guy. Okay. So 10 is the area of one of the small ones. So the big guy, the big triangle, that is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those small guys. So 9 of these guys, so that would be 9 times 10, which is 90. For how many different positive integers n does the square root of n differ from the square root of 100 by less than 1? Okay, so the sentence could be put into an inequality as follows. The square root of n minus the square root of 100, it differs by less than 1. So it's either less than 1 or it's greater than negative 1. And I think that is the interpretation mathematically of that sentence. Okay. Okay, let's solve this. The first thing I think of doing is just getting rid of that square root. That's just 10, right? And then, what do I do now? Put the 10 on the each side, so just leave the root n, so that add 10 both sides, so that's going to be 11 and 9, correct? And then let's square both sides, so then it'll be 81, and then n and 121. I think that's it. And what are they saying? how many? Okay, so we got to figure out all the positive integers. So that means n is either 82, 83, and so on, all the way up to 120. And that, I believe, would be in total 39. 39 numbers. So 39 is the answer. Counting every possible square of each size from 1 times 1 to 5 times 5, what is the total number of distinct squares which can be traced out along the lines of the accompanying grid? Okay, so basically, how many squares? Okay, so 1 by 1, there's 25 of those guys. 2 by 2, you guys can count this. I don't want to obviously draw them all because it'd be ridiculously time consuming and you don't even need that. 2 by 2 is 16. 3 by 3 squares, if you count them, there's 9 of those. 4 by 4, there would be probably 4. And the biggest one, 5 by 5, is only one of those guys. And if you add up all these, it's 55. So 55 is the answer to that. Four numbers A less than B less than C less than D can be paired in 6 different ways if each pair has a different sum. And if the 4 smallest sums are 1, 2, 3, 4, what are the possible values of D? Okay. All right, so we have A, B, C, and D. And we've got this inequality, which is obviously very important. And then we have to pair them, right? Pair. Okay, so we can pair them A plus B, and we're talking about sums, so that's why I put A plus B. And I think the largest would be C plus D. And then in the middle, that would vary. That would vary. Well, let me just put them all. So it would be A plus C, B plus C, A plus D, and B plus D. Now, this is for sure the smallest. And this is for sure the largest. That I'm pretty smallest. Let me just finish that word. Now, the ones in the middle, though, they are not necessarily in that order. They could be. They could be in this order, but there also could be another order. Oh, boy. I have to think about this for a second. I think the order could be if you switch these guys, so A plus D and B plus C. See, the thing is, we don't know what the numbers are, A, B, and C, and D. We're just told the sums. So because we only know the sums, we kind of have to go with both scenarios here. See what I'm saying? So I think that's why they're saying all possible values, because there's more than one possible value. Okay, so let's go with this. So the smallest is 1. So we know that for sure. The 4 smallest, the 4 smallest. So this would be 2, this would be 3, and this would be 4, if that's the order. And if this is the order, it'd be 2, 3, and 4 here. And I guess these ones we are not relevant in the question since we're not given the sum. Okay, so let's go with this set first, and let's see what we get. So A plus B is 1. So B is equal to 1 minus A. And then A plus C is 2. So that means C is equal to 2 minus A. And then what? Oh, the next one, B plus C is 3. So then we'll just sub in these guys. So it'll be 1 minus A plus 2 minus A is 3. So that means A is 0. Okay. If A is 0, that means B is 1 and C is 2. And therefore, using this guy, D would be 4. Okay, that sounds reasonable to me. So D is 4 is one possible value. So let me just put that here. D is equal to 4. And perhaps we can get another one. To get the other value, we're going to use these guys, that whole set, in the exact same way. So A plus B is 1. So that means B is equal to 1 minus A. A plus C is 2. So that means C is equal to 2 minus A. And then B plus C this time is 4. So that means 1 minus A if you sub it. is 4, so let's see that here. 2a is equal to 2a is equal to minus 1. So a is equal to negative a half. Okay, and then what do we use to get the d here? We use this guy. So a plus d is equal to 3. So that means negative a half plus d is equal to 3. So d is equal to 3.5. So that's the other one. And therefore 3.5, there we go. And I believe those are the two values for d.